Hi and welcome back to the best thing you watched this week. Chris from Movies and Munchies and myself, Ruben from the Review Tuesday, started this endeavor over 3 years ago now. We've done many episodes. This is our 4th season. We're a few weeks into it, and thank you so much for joining us. If this is your first time here, the general format is we talk about the best things that we watched. We also talk about the worst things we watched, sort of in the audio exclusive section, along with a film we haven't seen for a long time or have never seen. And then in that audio exclusive section, wherever listen to your podcast, we also talk about entertainment news and what we're looking forward to. But first, we always start with a movie quote quiz, which Chris has been doing for quite a while now. He'll tell you whoever won in the comment section from last week's, and then he'll give us 3 new easy ones. And what I mean by easy ones is ones that we just can't guess normally, except for 3 people. We have a Patreon that we have about 90 videos in there now. That's going well with a select few people. I think we've got about 11 people that have joined us on the Patreon, supporting us in the various tiers. Awesome. It starts at £1. So if you want to get access to those 90 videos, £1. We'd love to have you there. The app for the Patreon now consists with the chat. So if you download the app, you can talk to us about all things entertainment, not just that. You know, whatever I'm going through during the week, I will chuck up there, so you guys get a little insight into the humanity, the human side of Ruben, or just the geeky side of Ruben, because I'll often chuck up a bit of my set or some new geeky thing that I've gotten, a bit of news that's going on. So if you want to keep up to date where everybody's chatting in there, then join us there. Do that if you haven't done that yet, if you're part of the Patreon. But I think that's a lot. But yeah, we do quite a bit here.
Yeah.
It's been growing steadily. I like our audio crowd. We have 150 people that are on the audio podcast that, more and more kind of joining us, really enjoying what we have there for that. And the Patreon, you still get the video version and the full audio version, but as a video on there as just an extra thank you for joining us on Patreon. So let's get into it, Chris. Last week's quiz. I don't know that I got any of the questions.
Really?
I thought they were easy, yeah.
I thought you would have gotten at least 2 of them.
I knew them, I recognized them, but I could not place them.
Okay. Well, before we get into that, one quick just put on your calendar type of thing. Ruben and I did, for the very first time a couple of weeks ago, we did a live. We are going to do that again on Saturday, February 3rd of 2024. We are going to do our best to not make it a 3-hour endeavor. That was our first time. We were winging it. And
it was fun, though.
So
it was great interacting with everybody. Yeah.
Absolutely. That was so great. That was just hearing from everybody, getting it was like a group of friends coming together to chat online, and that was spectacular. So that was a lot of fun. But now going back to the movie quote quiz, Tara Briscoe, Red Comet, got all 3.
Nice.
Nostromo got 2 of them with a blech in there also. Okay, so number 1 answer, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Ah, yeah, that's why I recognized it. Yeah.
Yep. Number 2, Ride Along. Number 3, Central Intelligence.
I've seen those 2 of number 2 and 3 once and immediately forgot them. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't rate those films at all, except the Jumanji one. I enjoy those. Dude. I think they're really great.
Yeah.
And so the connection is The Rock?
Kevin Hart.
Oh, Kevin Hart.
I guess.
Okay.
Is The Rock in Ride Along?
No, he's not. No.
Okay. Yeah. So Kevin Hart. It could have been The Rock, though. Yeah. Yes. But okay. Yeah. So maybe I'm fired. Who knows? This week there is a theme. Whatever. Here we go. Number 1. Listen, Centauri, I'm not any of those guys. I'm a kid from a trailer park.
I think the names should give that one away. Yeah, I've definitely got this
so.
one. I think. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. I got number 2. Yay.
Okay. So the third one is in 2 movies. I'm looking for the original.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I have been and ever shall be your friend.
I know that as well.
You do know that one.
All right.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll catch. So I definitely got the first 2. I know the theme. Cool.
Nice. So let us know in the comments. Give it a little space so that everybody has the chance to guess, and then we will give you the shout out next week. Okay, Ruben, do you have a question for us?
I do. As ever, this is an awesome question. I don't know if it's even a question, to be honest. It's more of like what is happening in the world of entertainment, and why do we need this? More and more, I've noticed that we get new seasons of television. I think this mostly happens on television. It doesn't happen in movies. Yeah, new seasons of television, perhaps a new series of a story of an adaptation, or just a new story that we've never had before. And then you've watched the first episode, and immediately before the credits comes on, it goes, this season on. And they they spoil the best moments of the entire series. Like, I'm in. I've watched your first episode. Like, I'm probably going to enjoy, or even if I didn't, the fact that you're now going to spoil, I'm like, is this just the epitome of laziness, or just you think people are so thick that they would have forgotten, or they need another, like, oh, maybe they'd enjoy the pilot, so now we're going to show them all the best bits. So when they come to episodes 2 and 3 and 4, and they get to episode 2, I'm like, I've seen this. Why have I seen this? This doesn't feel original, new at all. Because I've seen all the great bits that are coming up. How many times now have you seen this season on?
Because most of what I watch is streaming, and most of it comes as a chunk. You know what I mean? Like as a binge, not as a week to week. I don't see that very often anymore, but I notice that if it hits something like that, I back out of it.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, because it's kind of like the trailer situation, you know what I mean? That lately, though, I gotta say, trailers have not been like, so what is it? Dune, Argyle, there was 1 or 2 other movies where, no joke, I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of the trailer, but they keep showing the exact same
the same trailer. They're not going to spoil the movie. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So you know what? As sick as I am of seeing that trailer, I'm thankful that I don't have to run out of the theater, because they're going to all of a sudden put in all kinds of these new things and all this context. I don't believe that audiences need that or want that. I
went into the Matrix seeing a poster on the side of a bus. Nice. And I was like, I'm in. Yeah. And my mind blown.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't need a trailer. They didn't need TV spots, massive interviews, big spoiler featurettes. None of that.
No. And I don't know why TV shows would do that either, especially because if they're week to week, you're relying on people to come back each time. And to give that.
So this particular season of TV that reminded me of like how much I hate this is still embargoed. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I can't talk about yet, but at the end of the first episode, they did, and this is even in the screeners. So it's part of the episode. It's part of how it's cut this season on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I was like, seriously? Like,
that's not good.
What? Yeah. Anyway, let us know in the comments. Does that irk you as much as it does me? Because it's starting to irk me, because I've seen it too many times. It's happening more and more. So not only do I have to avoid trailers at the cinema that are going to be spoilery, but now I've got to avoid TV series. Yeah, I've seen it for individual episodes as well. On this episode of. Or there'll be a thing like, I've never understood why Mission Impossible does it. Like, I know it harks back. They show all the best bits in the thing at the beginning. I literally don't watch the first 2 minutes of the movie. I close my eyes and I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Sequence, right?
When the title sequence, because they're showing all the cool bits. I was like, why? When I'm watching a Mission Impossible movie for the first time with my wife, she generally hasn't gone to the cinema to watch it with me or watch it at home. And I'm like, okay, just shut your eyes. She's like, why? Because they're literally going to show you the best cool moments, like now in the title sequence.
The ripping off of the mask.
Oh my gosh!
Why would you do that?
How much of a spoiler is that?
I want that surprise. I like that surprise.
Especially if you're not from the old school, like if you didn't know that that's how they did it in the TV series. Man alive. Some of these things they need to think through a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I've stopped moaning now. Welcome to Ruben's, the best thing Ruben moans about this week.
I know, that's a good question. That's that's good. All right, you ready to dive in though to the best thing that we watched?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I've just moaned, so the first thing I'm talking about, I'm going to moan a little bit at the beginning. So why don't you go, and we'll skip the moaning.
Okay, fair enough. Mine is a Netflix series. It's a limited series, so yes, right off the bat, awesome. It came out on Friday the 19th. It's a K-drama. It is a family drama, then with murder and mystery and twists that honestly I did not see coming. It's called The Bequeathed.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was on there.
This is, so what you have is, it starts out with some dude dies and he's older. He leaves this large burial ground that's on a mountain to what she didn't know, his niece. So she did not know that she even had an uncle. She thought she was just like the last of her family because her father had died, her mother had died. She didn't have any contact with anybody. There was nobody. And so she's like, wait, first off, I didn't even know about this dude, and now I'm getting this thing that I didn't even know about. And then more complications.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she's bequeathed something from a family member she didn't know she was getting, that she never knew she had. Okay, cool.
Exactly, yeah. So that just starts off kind of like that's kind of weird. But then somebody comes in claiming to be a half relative to the woman who has inherited this. Now,
because she wants part of the inheritance.
It causes conflict now because it's not an open and shut, just like here you go, because you're the only person assigned to you. Now it's conflict, but all throughout this, detectives are being involved in some murders that are happening.
Okay,
and they all tie in. But the thing that I loved most about this is how deeply entrenched it is about family.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into every point of how it works into family because that's some of the reveal, that's some of the twists, that's some of the mystery within there. But you get aspects of wife and husband, the wife, the woman who she didn't even know she had this other family, an uncle or anything else.
Okay.
So there's that drama. You have then side characters who are dealing with their own drama, but it then influences actions that come into contact with our central figure.
Okay.
And then there's family relations within the cops, which affect friendships and partnerships. And then you have just non-familial, but still like family tiffs and struggles and everything else within the police department because they're kind of like family and they're, certain people. And so it's 7 episodes. Nope, it is 6 episodes. It is.
Get that right. Whenever I get episode length wrong on a TV series, people in the comments are like, did you even watch it? No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. I did not watch it.
You didn't watch it?
Nope.
Like other reviewers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But the pacing is patient. You know what I mean? Like, it's not slow. It has an intensity to it because there's this murder mystery type of thing going on, and pieces as the story progresses, things keep compounding on each other, and so then it gets bigger and bigger, and like ooh, what's going to happen? You know, because things are coming to a head. I love you've got these two visual aspects. One part is very rural. And so, like, if they go to a village, I mean, it's just like a house here and then nothing around it, and then a house over here, you know, and some of them are all ramshackle and everything. And then you go into the city where the woman lives and everything else, and it has just, I mean, it's hustling and bustling and all that. And so that contrast is really nice. I don't think all of I don't know if you call it misdirection, but at least drama that's involved not all of it like is necessary. It's there to create conflict, but in the long and maybe like character isolation or something like that, but in the long run to the final outcome of the story, it's irrelevant. And so that was it, you know, like, so if you start thinking one way on some of these, they just kind of end. And so that's kind of disappointing because it becomes a little distracting. So
then is it longer than it needs to be? If they didn't have those storylines in there. I mean, did they need those storylines in there?
If you look back on it, probably they don't, but I didn't feel the time. It's not like it added time to it because even though the drama and that conflict of maybe this scene or this character interaction didn't lead anywhere long term, it didn't feel unnecessary in the moment.
Right.
So it's only on reflection where you're like, oh, well, yeah, okay, I guess you could have cut that out. But because I didn't notice the time, I wasn't looking for something to be like, oh, we need to trim some things, and that would be a perfect spot to take things out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's dark and it's twisted. And
you have questions.
Yeah.
Okay. What? In terms of darkness and intensity, is it as dark as, say, something like The Glory?
It has no. Okay. No, it's not. It's lighter in tone than that, but it's still.
But I mean, that is that's kind of the ceiling where
really, right? I mean, especially with the amount of abuse and bullying that we showed repeatedly. Yeah. This is not that much, but the concept of what you have is like, whoa.
Okay. So you said part of the storyline is serial killer, and you said it ties nicely into the main story. Do you have it because it's a limited series? Are those storylines completed? Do you does it have a good fruition? The
whole thing is wrapped up. Yes.
Nice. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, you have resolution. You have answers. And you have like multiple wrap ups.
Oh, okay.
I think you know what I mean. Like, because you have a lot of different
because there's a lot of things, so they'll take time to say this is how that unfolded.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is for me, and not everybody needs this, but I need someone to root for. Is there a clear kind of understanding of who the good guy and the bad guy is?
I think you.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Buddy the Brave, asserting his dominance over the UPS guy.
Yeah, you tell him, Buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I think there are two people that you really at least for me, that I really liked and I rooted for. One was our central character, because she finds herself thrust into this situation, and things happening around her where she was happy-go-lucky. I mean, she was not happy-go-lucky. That sounds. She was unencumbered by this other family drama. She had her own things that she was dealing with, and struggles and everything else. But so I like her. And then there's a detective who we get insight into his life. We get insight into two of the detectives' lives also, but one in particular, and I liked him. He's charismatic without being big and showy. I mean, it's just more of his countenance and presence of like humbleness, but also just getting the job done, not clouded by hubris and all of these other things. So for both of them, yes, I really did. And there's a lot of people to root against, though.
Oh,
so that's nice too.
So that's nice.
Yeah. You have clear-cut villains and people that you just don't like. And then there's some where you're like, I don't like you, but I want to like you, and I wish you would be better.
Okay. Yeah. Do better in your life.
That's exactly it. Yes. So I recommend this, especially if you like K-dramas, and you don't want week to week, and you don't want like really long series. I think that's what also helped, is because it was 6 episodes. It didn't take me so far down that depressing path like The Glory did.
Oh gosh.
And as phenomenal as that show was, that's a tough one. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love me some K-drama. You rated it quite highly, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I think 4.5 or 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's what you gave The Glory. So in terms of quality, it's very good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was everything about it, short of some of those little things that I found disappointing upon reflection. I liked, and I loved that I didn't get the twist.
Right. That's great, because we see so much. We often will see the pattern of like, okay, I know what it is, but the fact that you didn't get it means good writing.
Well, and then I felt a little thick too, because there's a verbal reveal that I didn't piece together. My brain just wouldn't reconcile it.
Right.
Like I couldn't, and so maybe other people would get it a little faster than I did than the reveal. But luckily, what we're told and then what we're shown isn't too far apart. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay to move on?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. I've changed up my order because I figured I'd keep K-drama, as you've just spoken about.
Okay.
I'll talk about one. This is an original for Disney in the UK, but I believe it's on Hulu in the US. It's called A Shop for Killers. There are 8 episodes. They dropped the first 2 this week. I had screeners for the first 2, so I'm only talking about the first 2. This is a weekly thing now that they've dropped the first 2, so kind of what you were talking about. I really want to have watched all 8, so I'm very much invested. It's really fun. So an action drama in which a nephew who lost his parents and grew up in the hands of an uncle who runs a shopping mall faces a new truth after his uncle's sudden death. Okay, so that's IMDb's synopsis. It's wrong. I love it when it's wrong.
Yeah, well, it's very close to the Bequeathed at this point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So for one, it's not his, it's her. And yep, minor thing. Okay, so at the beginning there's something that happens that basically forces this young girl to end up with her uncle. And her uncle becomes a surrogate family, really, because she loses mom and dad. The uncle starts a business of selling hoses online. and yeah, really random, like And somehow he makes a really good living off of this. Basically, a shop for killers is what you think it is. It's an online marketplace for people of the black market from whatever dark walk of life you are, and there'll be places for you to buy. And he's like that middleman, I guess. He does have the merchandise. I don't think I'm doing spoilers really. A shop for killers kind of gives it away. I kind of need to give you an idea of what's happening in this. But her uncle right at the beginning dies as well, and so she's left with everything and trying to figure out who she didn't really know her uncle. Why random people calling her asking for stuff, why random people showing up wanting to see her uncle even though he's like dead. That when the funerals are quite long, I never realized this, but they can go for days, and they sit down, have food, and everybody mourns at like this altar place, right? And the people that show up don't look like people she's ever met, but they also look kind of dodgy. So you start to put things together. But there was this rule that the shopkeeper, you never touch the shopkeeper. Like you can, it's off limits sort of thing. You know, like they have like a set of rules, like even killers have set of rules. Like
it's like the Continental.
Yeah. You never touch the shopkeeper because he, otherwise they will come for you. But I guess they haven't set anything up for what happens if he dies. So while he was alive, he had this rule: you can't take him out or his niece. Is it the niece? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he dies, and so what happens is we start off with that rule being broken off, and a big action sequence sort of commences, and then we jump back and we find out a bit about her life as she was growing up with her uncle, and even the moments of her parents and their funeral.
Wow.
And so we see multiple actors playing the same characters, which I think works quite well, and the actors do a really good job at giving us a nice amount of emotional background, but also what the uncle has gone through. So giving us weight to the uncle's character, even though he's not in it anymore, which I thought was interesting. Like you can't really root for him because he's dead, but we are seeing like who he was. Yeah. Where it's going to go, I don't know, because she, for all intents and purposes, looks like she has a bunch of people after what she now is bequeathed. That happens to be a lot of merchandise and money from these. So it's like, it's a very secluded house. It looks like it's in the middle of nowhere where she lives, where her uncle lived. And if you just watch the trailer, you'll know that this house it doesn't look like much, but it's ready to be attacked. This is fun. Like, this is good. It has some really like proper emotional moments, and it has some really grounded action. Like it's not John Wick style. Like, don't go in thinking that. It just isn't. It's like you see her, she plans how to avoid a sniper rifle shot at the trajectory. She jumps up and just kind of falls flat onto a couch and falls over, and you're like, excuse me. And you're just like, yeah, that's very real. That's exactly, even if you're trained, that's how you fall. You don't kind of roll into, this cool stance and come up with like ninja stars and magically take that person out. No, that's not how that works. But it's tense, it's fun, it's exactly what I expected this to be. So I will be tuning in. I'll be frustratingly watching every week.
How long are the episodes?
Standard, they're like 45 minutes, I think.
Oh, okay. So at least they're a little chunky versus some
half an hour comedy segments.
Yeah. So this comes out in the US on the 24th.
Oh, so it's not even out yet.
Oh no, sorry.
Really?
No, next episode. Sorry.
The next episode.
Me.
Okay.
Chris doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. Well, this looks like fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice. And the action's good.
Very.
And it's done well and sweet.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Acting, cinematography. those two things twice. They're great.
Okay. Nice.
You will recognize some of the actors. You'll be like, oh, it's that person from this series that I love. So, especially the female, the main protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, what's her name? I really should have known this. It's what's her face from that Thingamabob.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. Good. Okay.
I know that one. I've seen that before.
Yes. Yeah,
what is
absolutely. That? It's like top of my list.
Yeah, right? The Who's in the
that one dude in that one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, those poor actors. Like, we love them, too, and that you see them everywhere, and yeah, no, you have no idea where it is, right?
I want to say it's Kim Jong, but I don't think that's correct. Oh no, it is. It's her. Yeah. Okay. So let me try and pronounce the name. Kim Hae-jun.
Okay.
She is Queen Consort Cho in Kingdom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's just like one.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a number, but yeah, you recognize her. Oh, she also is Lee Ying Rang in Connect, which was phenomenal.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but yes, I remember you talking about that because
yeah.
Okay.
All right. I got there in the end.
Yeah. Love it. I love it. Okay. You good to progress here?
Yes, please. Let's move on.
Okay. My next thing, this is coming. It's already out if you have Showtime with Paramount Plus, which is the streaming platform.
Right.
I don't think you can get it if you have like Showtime through Amazon channels. I think you have to have it through the Paramount Plus platform. I don't totally understand all those things, but
okay.
It's called The Woman in the Wall. It will be, it's a weekly release, and it will be on Showtime, like over the air cable type of on Sundays. So Sunday, January 21st is going to be the first episode, and then weekly from there. And basically what this is it's a thriller mystery, and it stars, one of my favorite anti-heroes of all time. Well, actually not the character, but the actress who plays that. Ruth Wilson, who is Alice Morgan in Luther.
Right.
She's the star of this, and her name is Lorna Brady in this, and it takes place in Ireland. And she's an unreliable narrator. Totally. Okay. Because she has a history of sleepwalking.
Oh no.
And it's known throughout the town. Like the police know it, the whole thing. So it's not even like it's just her and it's some dirty little secret, or and the series opens up with her waking up in the middle of the road out in the country. Okay. So basically though, at some point, she discovers a corpse in her house. And she doesn't know how it got there. Did she do it? Did she murder this person while sleepwalking?
Yeah.
Did she, or is she being framed? And she has a lot of trauma in her life, and she's surrounded by women that she knows. I wouldn't call them necessarily friends, but they have a shared past, because they also endured a lot of trauma. And it pulls in, this is a fictional town with a fictional, circumstance and everything else. I don't know, though, if maybe this has happened in something, that's where the inspiration came from or whatever. But it surrounds what they call laundries. Yeah. And so the Catholic Church ran these convents that pregnant, unwed girls would be sent to. They would then take the babies from them and give the babies away. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
It's not set like back then, right?
It's current day.
Yeah.
It's modern day, but we do get a lot of flashbacks. But even still at that, it's like you're flashing back to the 80s and maybe the late 70s to mid 80s, somewhere around there. I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far.
Okay.
It is, the whole presentation is a little slow, but I think that's because so much is being established. There is a murder mystery that's going on that brings a detective from, I think it's Dublin, in to this small town. And so, he's big city. He comes in, he meets the cop, who's the local constable type of thing, the Garda, and he's... They work on 2 totally different types of wavelengths. The local cop is like, we're going to be very casual about this. We don't have anything. Oh, we have this evidence here. Well, we don't have any way to do anything with it, so it's just going to sit there in the rain. You have culture clashes going on like that. The detective, though, that comes from Dublin, there's something in his past. We don't know what that is yet. So he's also a little damaged, but he begins to notice oddities with Lorna, our central character played by Ruth Wilson. And so it tweaks him and tweaks that detective part of him where he's like, something's not right. And so it's this big mystery. And because Ruth Wilson, her character is so it's not crazy. She's not crazy. She's not insane. She's so tormented by her past, and then with her present stress of sleepwalking, which has been going on for a long time, but it seems to be exacerbated now. You don't know what's real. I mean, like, we watch things and we're like, were you doing that? And some of the things we do watch her do, like we watch her fully play it out. And there's one, it's in the trailer, where she sets something on fire. And as she's walking away, it explodes. And she kind of does this. And it reminded me like of Joker in The Dark Knight, where he's like... It walks off and then it explodes, the hospital and stuff like that. So, but what that does is that wakes her up. Oh. She was sleepwalking and it wakes her up.
Flip.
And you see then oh crap, what did I just do? You know what I mean? So it's, like, I don't know, is this going to wrap it up nicely? Is it going to nail all the landings? Is it going to maintain some really good intrigue in this? If it continues how it is, yes, absolutely. Because while Lorna is not an outright sympathetic character because of just how gruff and abrasive she is to everybody around her, her circumstances are so horrific that you can't help but feel something for her, and her outbursts, her behaviors make sense. Should she get some help to help progress past this? Yes. But she also makes some decisions which to her seem like probably the right thing to do, even though it's totally the wrong thing to do.
Right.
Which I know that later down the line, it's going to cause even more issues. We've got a little bit of the Cask of Amontillado going on there because it's, it's called The Woman in the Wall. And so it's...
At some point you expect to find a woman in the wall.
Yeah. There's some dark comedy in it too. Like it's not made as a comedy. Okay. It's just some circumstantial things or the way
stuff happens that's funny.
Yeah. Or a line. Like, I mean, the local Garda, he's just so jovial and kind of dumb, but he's not dumb. I mean, right. He's like, you know what I mean? Like he's super easygoing, likable type of thing. And he's probably more apt to overlook some things,
right?
Because it's just town people. I know them, and so some of the conversations that go on or the interactions, they made me chuckle, and or they were situationally funny,
right?
But they weren't going for like, oh, we're trying to increase or include levity here, or we're trying to make you like laugh. This is just a natural thing that if it was happening in your life, you would also laugh despite all the other circumstances going on. So,
if you want to watch this and you're in the UK, click over to the BBC and you can watch all the episodes now. This came out in August.
Shut up. Seriously? It's all out now on the BBC?
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, okay. I mean, I have all 6 episodes, so you can
watch them anyway.
My goal is to finish it today, but dude.
So this was originally a BBC original, so they obviously bought it. Like we get the same here. I'll see a show pop up, and I'm like, oh, cool, this is new, and you're like, I saw that 6 months ago.
Oh, true. Yeah. To the show's credit, it does say, I think at the beginning, like in association with the BBC or something like that.
Yeah. So
they're not claiming that it is. That the BBC had nothing to do with it.
It's like Netflix, like stamps. Yes. We own this now.
Yes.
Funny.
I would suggest if you my screeners don't have subtitles or captions. But I would suggest sometimes maybe turning those on because the Irish accents get a little thick sometimes. I love the names because I would never pronounce some of these names like this. Like there's one that's it's spelled. Wait, let me find it.
I'm trying to spell Shorshire.
Yeah, exactly. It's Aoife. Okay.
Aoife.
How would you pronounce that?
Aoife. Iffy?
Oh, that's close. Yeah, Aoife?
Yeah, see, I because I've been here for a while, I know, like, sometimes they just skip out the first letters. They just have magic letters there for whatever reason.
Well, this one I love, and I didn't know it until I watched a different Irish show with James Nesbitt, but Niamh.
What?
Niamh.
Niamh. Name her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, how do you say
Neve.
It? What?
Yeah.
Where's the V sound?
I don't know. It's. I think it may be the Gaelic part of it or something. I don't know. It was awesome though because I was
That's amazing.
Holy crap! Wow! I'm glad I hear it and I'm glad I see it because then right.
The subtitles really help.
Yeah, because otherwise I would do exactly what you did. Neem. Yeah.
I'd be like, is this like a Hebrew Bible name?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would be destroying names more than
usual.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you'll get people in the comments going, I'm tapping out, I can't even get the name right. So have you seen the name?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So
what's next?
VPN for those that want to watch it now.
Yeah. But see, well, I'm not going to give all the tips away because I did watch things on Channel 4. So.
Okay. What's next?
Do you not have something next?
No, I do. Okay. But I kind of want to hear you talk about this. I hope this is on your list. So next on my list is American Nightmare, which is a Netflix documentary, 3-episode series about something that the more I watched it, the more unbelievable the story got. Not because I didn't believe the person telling the story, just because how people that were involved, the law enforcement particularly, treated it. And I hate the fact that we don't know the outcome of some of what's happened to the FBI agent, what's happened to the police department, that nothing has happened to some of these people, why they didn't investigate the girlfriend that this story was actually about. What, they didn't wrap it up or tell us. But what it does focus on is a couple one particular woman that gets kidnapped. The boyfriend that gets blamed for the kidnapping, and the police not listening to the story or believing it all and dumping this guy under the bus, saying that he's basically made it all up, used the law, and wasted so much money and time and effort because he's done whatever and probably killed his girlfriend for whatever reason, and didn't even take the time of day to investigate. So much so that we had almost all the resources of one police department and FBI, and they all said the same thing until something happens. So this is in Sacramento. Is that right? This happened in Sacramento?
No, Vallejo, which is in between Sacramento and San Francisco. It's a little closer to San Francisco than it is Sacramento.
Fairly close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like driving distance, sort of. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Like you were driving.
Yeah.
Had you heard of this before?
I had not.
Wow.
And I was trying to figure out, why didn't I hear about this? And this was probably right about this. This happened, I think, in 2015. It was right when I had gotten laid off from radio, and I was my room that I'm in right now, I literally ripped it down to studs because I had nothing to do while I was job searching.
Right.
And so that may have been my wife, who is monster size into true crime. I mean, she loves it.
Yeah.
And I love it too, but she's very involved in like she looks at things and researches them and everything, and that's great. She knew about this. She knew all about this, and she's watching me watch this. She's like, "Oh no, wait," and I'm like, "What?" Because I, knowing nothing about this and following along, I believed the girlfriend was making it up.
Really?
I was, as I'm watching her and listening to her recount this, I'm like, seriously? Come on. And then then it gets horrifying. Like some of the things that she talks about, and I'm like, oh, seriously, you would not, I don't think you'd make this up. This is, you know?
Actually, I know a person that made up a story about being assaulted. Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. So it does happen.
Yeah. Once that part of it happened, I began to switch gears.
Right.
You know, but just the because it's told in the trailer, the whole thing. I mean, and it's...
I hadn't seen the trailer, and I knew nothing about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went in, and when there's a moment where someone else... I don't know how much we say without... Is it spoilers? Because I knew nothing about this. I hadn't heard about the story. I think I watched 20 seconds of the trailer and I thought, yeah, that looks really interesting.
I think we can tell part of it, the part that the girlfriend is released.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And she's brought back. That's what causes like all kinds of confusion and suspicion and where it becomes even more poignant on the cops in Vallejo.
But then they still don't. They still don't. They still double down.
Dude, and the one cop gets the policeman of the year or whatever too. That
oh
seriously?
My gosh, yeah, he got awarded for being an inept idiot.
Yeah, this was it was told so well. I mean, it is so engaging, and like, especially if you don't know what the context of any of this going in, you know, I mean, the story that the boyfriend tells it's quite unbelievable.
I mean, I understand, but it's your job to investigate. Like if you don't find her and you can't find any reason not to investigate, like they actually didn't do any investigation. They didn't do anything.
The cop sitting there like, I'm a puzzle maker. I put puzzles together and you're lying. And this is what I think you did.
See, that's not being a cop. That is being a storyteller. You just make shit up.
Yeah, well, and they should not be able to lie. Like the FBI guy saying that, oh, you just failed this polygraph.
But there was a big reveal about the FBI guy. How that guy hasn't been arrested, I don't know, or fired.
But the the memo back from the Department of Justice or whoever it is was like, oh no, it's fine.
Yeah. This is how you run things in America, apparently.
Well,
because I always thought FBI, like the cops I saw, but I always thought the FBI were held to a different level, different standard. You see so many TV series and movies dictating of how hard it is to get in, the level of intelligence that you have to be. For one, this guy didn't come across as smart or particularly well trained. He just looked like he had a grind. He had a particular agenda, and he was going to use this guy as that.
Yeah, there was a conflict of interest there. Clear cut.
Yeah, you would never be allowed to step foot. You wouldn't be assigned to this, and once you found out, you would be taken off.
And if you didn't reveal it, I mean, think of from the defense attorney standpoint, that would discredit everything. In that investigation.
Exactly. I mean, they should have sued the FBI, and particularly that guy on it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, I don't see how you couldn't win against that.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful that we then get the story from the perspective of Dublin PD, which is another Bay Area city, and this person who was a detective but was just asked to be on the case, to come along on the case. I mean, she wasn't even assigned.
It's her first detective case. Yeah.
And because she approaches this from a whole different type of perspective, and not even looking at their case, but her own case, but without the bias in there. I mean, good Lord, those like poor people.
Her case was super thin. She had one scrap of like a thread to hold on to, and she took it for all it's worth, went down all the avenues. It just shows that complete opposites of like how. But do you think that because here in the UK you have like school governing boards where people come into each school and they test and mark you to how your standard should be. Like surely there's got to be that for law enforcement in the US. Like, but like I don't see how, because
we have a large military to police pipeline. And I don't know how much training you have to have if you've been like in military.
You can just basically
if you've
walk
been like
in.
an MP or something like that. Yeah, I mean,
you can handle a weapon. You've done your basic training.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I've had some friends who are detectives, and I know that they had. I mean, they had to do more. There was testing.
Tests.
You know what I mean? To get to this level, and so to have Chucklefuck over there and the Vallejo PD, Colonel Mustard, him, burn it down.
I mean, it was fascinating to watch, but it was aggravating because that is the thing that's meant to protect you. Who do you go to if you have a problem? So my response at the end of that documentary was, now I understand why people have guns. Because if you can't trust the law, the guys that are meant to protect you, then you have to protect yourself, even at the cost of your own life or going to jail, because the law's not on your side anyway. So then you need a lawyer that can use the broken law, because it's not just, it's just how do you use the law to your benefit to get you out of murdering somebody because you had to shoot someone because you couldn't trust that officers would do their job.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Well, and there's so much in there too that not all cops are bad.
No.
I have met plenty being pulled over. Just being pulled over where I was in the wrong, and they were totally nice, totally fine, everything else. But I don't believe that there is such a tiny little bit that are bad. I think it's a larger group than what we. Yeah. And I mean, I can't imagine being somebody of color.
Oh my gosh!
This is happening to white people.
Yeah.
Okay, here's in an affluent area.
Yeah.
So could you imagine if this couple had been black?
Yeah, no.
Holy crap.
That guy would have been put under the bus. They wouldn't have been given time of day.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He'd probably be convicted in jail now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he would have been
Or
cuffed.
if not shot unseen.
Just because. Yeah. Well, and the thing that I've learned, like over the last couple of years, is especially of watching more and more true crime stuff and interviews and everything. Take your right to remain silent.
Oh, very seriously.
100% seriously. The only thing that you need to say out of your mouth, if the cops take you into a room to question you for whatever, even if they say, oh no, you're not a suspect or whatever, but we do have to read you your rights just because that's the law or whatever. Let them read you your rights, and you say lawyer. And they have to stop right there, because there are so many stories of false confessions, coerced confessions that are false, also just outright lying and everything else. And what that does too is it delays the actual investigation to getting to the people who committed the crime. I mean, this guy that we watch, he's doing all the things right. And he's like, dude, I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you everything that I know. I know it sounds wacky, but this is what happened. Here, go do something with this. Investigate, look around, do some, I don't know what's going on, and it's like, no, we're just going to focus on you. And even when a partner is typically the perpetrator, you still have to do the police work.
So I commend the documentarians, the filmmakers, because they did the Tinder Swindler. They're obviously very good at what they do. They do great, great stories. They put it together well. So I'll probably watch whatever they do next, because their stories are excellent. But man, it was frustrating. I was just like, this sucks, man. In this day and age that this happens, it's just stupid.
It is aggravating and horrifying. And like, I opened up my my review by talking about NWA. At the time I was like, well, that's very disrespectful. That's harsh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, you know what? Yes. In this day and age, yes. Prove us otherwise. That's what you have to do now.
Yeah. So was that on your list?
I didn't put it on my list because I was hoping you would have it on your list.
Right, yeah, okay.
But yes, it definitely was a phenomenal story, put together really, really well. And you're right, because I enjoyed the Tinder Swindler. God, that's hard to say.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, that they take the time to put the story together. That's the thing. It didn't feel just haphazardly. Here's a whole bunch of things that
There's so many documentaries on Netflix that feel drawn out. Like I often see a documentary that has more than one episode on Netflix, and I'm like, ugh. You're the documentary guy. So for me to be like absolutely riveted through each episode says a lot.
Oh, you know what? Fun fact on this: a logo that I created is on one of the news things.
Oh, really?
yeah. It was just a rebranding logo. It wasn't like a from scratch type of thing. But yeah, right. I because it happened so relatively close to where I was. When I was working in radio, I saw one of my
you recognized that's mine.
I was like, oh hey, I did that. Yeah. So anyway, that was fun.
You should get a percentage of the profits.
No. In the newsroom, if you got the mic flag on TV, you had to buy the newsroom dinner.
Right. Okay.
So no.
So don't say anything. Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. No.
Okay. It's your birthday. Buy everybody a cake. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about, I haven't done a review on this, and I'm conflicted, I think, about how I feel on it overall.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's a movie, and it's called The Kitchen. Did you watch this?
I watched half of it and I tapped out.
It's only an hour and 47 minutes.
Oh my gosh, it feels like 7.
Yeah, it feels way longer than it is.
Yeah.
I liked what the story is trying to do.
Yeah.
In part of it.
I love the premise.
It's the emotional.
It's yeah,
the emotional story between you have this basically squatter village, because it's near future London where housing is just becoming unattainable.
I swear the kitchen, the housing is a redressed MI6 building. I swear it's that building. Yeah, it really looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, I like this idea of this because you have these people who are struggling to survive. It shows the ever widening gap between the rich and the poor. There's no middle anymore. It's just you either have or you don't. You have a guy who's trying to get out, so he's working a job and everything. He meets this kid at his job, which is kind of it's like a funeral home-ish type of thing.
It's like the new thing that we do. Yeah.
Exactly. And he kind of becomes the father figure to him. I mean, he takes care of him, looks after him a little bit, but we also see the kid getting mixed up with the rough crowd, you know, and so the kid is going to have a choice. And so I like that. It's not something that's wholly unique. I like that we get to see conflict in the older guy's, just in everything that he does, because he knows the right thing to do is to look after this boy who doesn't have a family anymore. But he's also then torn with, I've been saving and working so hard to get myself out of this.
He's trying to escape the povertyless way of living. Yeah.
Exactly. I think my problem with this is that it feels like it's a social commentary and a cautionary tale, but the people that would need to see it, that could enact the change, won't watch this.
Won't watch it. I agree. Yeah.
You know, so you're preaching to the choir with this movie. It's like the people who watch this already understand what's going on. And they sympathize with the situation, and they see the injustice of it, and they want things to change, but they don't have the means to make it change. So there's parts you probably noticed even just halfway through, all of the motorcycle riding and the focus on the bikes and everything like that. At first I'm like, good Lord, why are we showing all of this? This is a lot of focus on this. And I think what it was is to show this camaraderie, you know, that this kid, now this is how he connects with this group of people, because they do these things and he's interested in that. So he becomes more, you know what I mean? And so it shows him like being sucked into them and following them and being part of that crowd. It's co-directed by Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like the movie's not bad. It's just
I don't know that it isn't. I don't know that it isn't, because I love some parts of it, like the cinematography. I love the futuristic look, the neon Blade Runner-esque with the poverty, the mix. They have like this one street that is like these little side shops where everybody's like little shanty towns, and then you got like digital or holographic stuff going on. And I thought that looked so real, so lived in. I was like, it needed more of that lived in stuff. When we're going around the housing, it's got like a hollow, like all the flats is in a circle, then there's this hollow stuff in the middle, and that really gives you this idea of they've created their own little world, really, like outside of normal humanity. They have nothing, so they have to make whatever they do, they have to make it fun. There's this guy on the radio that is kind of the voice of the people.
The Lord Kitchener.
Yeah, and I thought there were elements of it that worked really well. and the story, I could see where they were going. I think it was just boring. Like there's some movies that can have slow pacing and it really works to build the story, and you don't mind that it's slow. This one, I kind of want to know what happens at the end, but not enough for me to go back and watch it. Does that make sense?
That does. Yeah. I did like the way it ended.
Okay.
I thought it was fitting. It still felt long to get there.
I can pretty much guess how it's going to end, I think.
Sure. Yeah. I think a lot of the arc and the trajectory of this is predictable. So I don't know. I didn't mind it, but I wasn't riveted. I'll never go back to it. It's not, but I just thought, some of these aspects of it, I really liked within it. And just the whole thing together was kind of like, let's see. So anyway.
There's a much better version of this movie that's anime that we're going to talk about today.
Oh, see, I thought our anime that
we're talking about Akira, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because our Patreon one reminded me of a different movie.
Okay.
So
yeah. Nice.
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to?
All right. I guess.
More?
Yep.
Okay.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah. I guess this is like the animation section. So I've got one anime to talk about and one animated thing. So I'll do the animated one. I resent talking about this one because you need to watch this one because you love musicals, and I think you've had the screeners for ages. I got sent the screener letter 3 times with the password to watch the screeners, and they said, yeah, we've told them to send them to you. And like, this was weeks ago, and I kept going back, hey, blah 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 blah, and then it just comes out, and I never get the actual screener. So you know what? I don't know what it was. I had the password to watch it, but Hazbin Hotel is an animation series that is adapted from a short that came out in 2019 that was so popular that it had like 94 million views on it. So it was very, very well received. And so now we have, I think the first 4 episodes are out, and there might be 7 or 8 episodes in total. I don't know. But I've watched the first couple. And if you want to just get a taster of it, they have put the first episode, the full episode, on YouTube. So you can just go watch that for free. So you don't necessarily have to have Amazon Prime. And if you love it, then you can go. So think musical, think Disney musical. Like really the musical numbers that you get in here are the way it's worded, the way it sounds. It's so Disney. But what they're saying is not. This is not a young person's viewing. It's TVMA, so mature, 32 minutes apiece. So in an attempt to find non-violent alternative for reducing hell's overpopulation, the daughter of Lucifer opens a rehabilitation hotel that offers a group of misfit demons a chance at redemption. So someone, whoever made this, obviously has the issue of the status quo of how religion, heaven and hell looks like, because the angels and Adam are obviously the evil guys. It's like it's showing like they supposedly are the ones that are good, but they every now and again, once a year, they come down and decimate hell just because they can, because hell's getting too powerful. So they just come and just kill everybody off. And then the first episode shows how the daughter messes up so badly that they're going to come every 6 months now. So she's made hell much worse. Her idea of the Hazbin Hotel is that it's like a rehabilitation center so that people can become good enough to go to heaven. But she's been told that's never going to happen, because once you're in hell, that's it. You're evil forever. But obviously she doesn't agree with that. She burst out into singing numbers. The best way I can compare it to is like that singing number that Belle has at the beginning, which is from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
bonjour, 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 bonjour. There's the strings like always. It's that sort of number that she's singing while hell is on fire. And as she's singing, she sings to someone, and the guy will stick out his head out the window and go, "Fuck you!" And then it's literally like so perversely opposite that it's hilarious. It really works. The scripting and the dialogue is insanely good. Like it's cleverly funny, but it's not going to be for everybody. It's definitely going to tick some people off, which I think is good, because if you get a series of something like that, you get people talking about it. It gives it a chance to get in the zeitgeist, even if they're talking about it. It's like, can't believe this is, the Bible thumpers for this series are gonna have a field day with it. Like, this is how far we've gone down the line. You're all dooming us to hell. You see, demons are the good guys and the angels are like, that's not what it's actually saying. If you have a brain cell at all, you'll understand what the meaning is behind it. A lot of fun. I resent saying that it's really good. I will go back to it and watch the rest. I love the music as well. It's so good.
Oh, see that? You talking about like the opening of Beauty and the Beast and them? Oh my God, that just, I'm like, yes, I can picture it in my mind, especially with like hell on fire. Or just
it's
being,
exactly like that.
Destroyed. And,
are
they short episodes? Like
they're
30 minutes, 24 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. The voice work is pretty good. Erica Hemmingson, who plays Charlie Morningstar. You will notice a few. Keith David plays Husk. He's brilliant. Oh my gosh, he plays this perverted character. He's really like a perverted character in this. That used to be in charge of radios. He hates like the new medium of like TV. So I think you really appreciate.
Awesome. Yeah. You don't touch another man's fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if IMDb is correct, the first 4 episodes came out, and then there will be 2 episodes this coming week, and then 2 episodes on February 2nd, and then that season will be wrapped up.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so give that a go. It's a really weird one, but surprisingly really works.
I really want to watch it now.
I mean, it's a musical animated series that's demented.
That's another musical animated series that's demented was Centaur World.
Yes, and we love that.
Absolutely. So hey, bring it on. This is outstanding. Okay, cool.
Okay. Lastly on my list. Netflix came out. I thought it was a TV series. It's actually a movie. It's called Marboroshi. Marboroshi. I always get that wrong. Marboroshi is a new animated film that came out this week. Say it 3 times fast.
Say it once fast.
Marboroshi. Okay, so this film has split anime fans like right down the middle.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, quick synopsis. Following an explosion at a factory that mysteriously freezes a town in time, 2 students encounter a mysterious feral child, spurring an impulse of love fueled by the frustration of their daily lives that begins to upend their world. The animation in this is beautiful. Like, it's stunning. Directed and written by Mari Akoda, who did things like Makua, Her Blue Sky, so many things, A Whisker Away. There is a lot that you'll recognize this person's stuff from. It's done by Studio Mappa, who is known for their quality. It's an hour and 51 minutes. It's a 12, so it's generally accessible for most audiences. The reason why it's split down the middle is that it's confusing. A lot of people at the end, like in my comment section, is like, okay, so what the hell happened? I didn't find that. I understood what it was saying, and I felt like if you pay attention, you will understand the story and the people and the meaning. I think it was quite beautiful, quite touching. The first half of the film is setting up what's going on, and you will be confused. Like if you tap out in the first half, then you'll comment in the comment section, I don't understand this movie. If you watch the second half, it explains what this movie is. It has themes in it that it's like, what is life about? Like in our lives, like what is life actually for? And how much do you take it for granted? And its major theme is live every day as if it's your last, because you don't know tomorrow. You may be perfectly healthy, and there maybe a bus will drop on your head from the sky because an aircraft carrier, an aircraft plane carrier dropped it. You don't know what can happen. Anything can happen. You could choke on a grape and die. Like, there's just no control of your life. Sorry to be like, but you have no control over fate or luck or whatever God is, attacking you at that moment in time. You're immortal until you aren't. Yeah. So I thought it was fantastic. It's beautiful.
I'm just seeing the trailer play on IMDb, and the animation.
No, it's stunning.
Yeah.
Honestly, stunning. Yeah. But not just that. It's stunning for a reason. Like, the beautiful moments, the characters. We've had two main protagonists. One is trying to figure out what love is about. They become surrogate sort of parents. They teach this kid that is definitely a fish out of water storyline, who could basically needs to learn to write, to read. They don't know where she's from, and a big part of the story is why she's around. But also because this town is governed by a working class people, that all revolves around this factory. And when there's an explosion, they seem to be stuck in time. And so life becomes a bit worthless, because there are things that you take for granted what time does in a positive way. So just as a quick example, like how in-depth this film is, there's a woman that is so looking forward to being a mother. She's 3 months pregnant. She can't wait to be a mother. But because they're all stuck in this time, she never progresses. So you can be there for years and be 3 months pregnant, but you never get to be a mother. At the same time, whatever's causing this rift in their city, there's things that are making people disappear, so they have fear to live with. So yeah, it's like multi-dimensional and multifaceted. But yeah, once you get to the end, you understand what has happened. It's very clever, very intriguing story, but not accessible for everyone, I think.
Well, and it sounds like emotionally dark, which I don't say is a bad thing. I mean, just thinking about, you're stuck in time, but there's also the fear of
of like disappearing. Yeah.
So you don't ever get to progress.
Yeah.
But you could
also not exist. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's like, that would be the vision of hell.
Oh yeah. For sure.
That's wow. Okay, that sounds interesting, and it is a movie, so it's a one and done thing.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No, that is everything on my list for this week.
All right, that's everything on my list as well. We thank you for joining us. Do not forget, we have our Patreon opportunity at patreon.com/thebeardedones. £1 gets you in there and gets access to, I think Ruben said 90-ish videos so far. Wow. That's a lot. That's awesome.
And we have that chat group that we're in there now with, which is quite fun.
Yes. So we invite you to join us there.
On the 3rd of February?
Thank you. Yes. 3rd of February, we are going live again. We are going to cut back on the 3-hour version and go for a less of that. We're trying to hone in our schedule. So
we're aiming for about 2, right?
Yeah. So that we really, we're working on a like a format that we're actually going to try and stick to.
Yeah.
That's, so there is that. We have our audio exclusive where we it's extended. So not only do we talk about some entertainment news and things we're looking forward to, but we also talk about the thing that didn't make it onto our list this week, as well as a movie that we watched together for the purposes of talking about it. Sometimes it's a movie we've never seen. Sometimes it's been one that's been quite a while since we've watched. This time we were watching Akira, and I'm really, looking forward to talking about that. And is that? Oh nope! Do all the YouTubey things: like, share, subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday. Me, Chris. Movies and Munchies. Okay, with that, we will see you next week. Take care.